export this test, I wanted to show you one more tool that's available with Selenium, which is that you can right-click on any item in the page and then show all available commands. So far, we've just recorded what we've done in the browser, so we haven't had to know any of the commands. This is a great way to figure out about what can be recorded. Now, so far we've been working with flat HTML pages, but from time to time, you may need to record a macro that requires an ajax type interface or an overlay like the one we did before. And in those cases, we can't just automate the process of creating our test. We actually need to go in and manually make some adjustments to it in order for it to work properly. And this list should give you some hints about what to do next if you're stuck in a test that's not finishing. You can also click any of these items to add them to the test. So if I click this, you see that it gets added here. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Okay, now the whole point of us recording this was to be able to share it with others. So let's go through the process of exporting this. What you want to do when Selenium is selected here as a window is go to File, and then Export Test Case As, and we'll select HTML. Go ahead and navigate to your website folder, and then in the Assets folder, we'll create a new folder called Selenium where we'll put these tests. Now again, depending on your workflow, you may have this assets folder within your Drupal directory, or you may have it as a separate repository. And again, this folder contains everything that's not part of your code base, but is useful to have in version control. I'm going to click on New Folder, Selenium, and then Create. Okay, we're in the folder. And we're going to go ahead and save this as createaboutuspage.html. Now we don't necessarily have to have the extension for this to work, but it helps disambiguate things when it comes to importing into Selenium, because Selenium actually exports in several different formats. So now I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And now if we jump back to our website folder, we'll see here in the Assets folder, there's a Selenium folder with our test. Now this test is viewable. If we double-clicked it to open it, we can see that it's just a table, and it includes the steps that need to be taken in cells. So this first column here is the action, the second is the target, and the third is the value. So this is a quick way to preview test if you want to know what it's all about. Okay, let's go ahead and add one more test before we begin the process of adding all of this to version control. I'm going to create a new taxonomy term, and so let's begin by navigating to that page. Again, we're going to start by opening up the administrative page outside of the overlay. So I'm going to right-click on Structure here, and then I'm going to go to Open Link in New Tab. Now from here, I'm going to click on Taxonomy, and next to the tags vocabulary, I'm going to go ahead and click on Add Terms. I'm going to go ahead and open up Selenium, and let's create a new test case by going up to File and selecting New Test Case. Okay, now let's go ahead and begin recording this process. The name here is going to be Pliable, and let's go ahead and scroll down and click Save. It's a pretty simple process. So I'm going to jump back to Selenium, and you see we have 3 steps here. Opening the page, which is the automatic one that gets added, typing in Pliable inside of the input that has ID edit name, and then clicking the Submit button. Okay, let's stop recording, and let's go ahead and give this macro a try. I'm going to click play on it. Okay, looks like we created a new term, Pliable. Now, of course, as we run these tests repeatedly, we'll have some extra content in our database. We can either go back and clean this up, or eventually we might sync up with the production site, which won't have these duplicates, and so they'll disappear later. Let's go ahead and export this test case. We'll go to File, Export Test Case As, and select HTML. And I'm calling this Added Term Pliable to Tags.html. And then I'll go ahead and save it.